Glowing star, the unseen hand. How a woman's spirit shapes a man's fate. Have you ever observed the profound divergence in men's lives after they marry? One man may find his path stabilizing, his efforts yielding prosperity, and a renewed sense of purpose taking root. Conversely, another might drift into uncertainty, encounter persistent stumbling blocks, or feel a continuous drain on his energy and success. We often attribute this to luck, chance, or brute personal will. However, ancient wisdom traditions illuminate a hidden dynamic. A wife's inner light, her unwavering belief, and the energetic field she cultivates can subtly but powerfully redirect the trajectory of her husband's existence. A woman's soul holds an inherent sanctuary of energy. When she extends genuine and pure affection, her love acts as a potent current of transformation. It has the capacity to smooth out past challenges, soften rigid destiny, and unlock opportunities that were previously inaccessible. This sacred influence is not about domination, verbal criticism, or forcing a partner to change. It is a subtle, divine wellspring that flows through her integrity, her silent prayers, and her alignment with a higher power. Sages across time have taught that a woman's devotional love, when focused on spiritual truth, possesses the grace to elevate a man's consciousness, his behavior, and the very pattern of his karma. Her earnest supplications become a protective aura. Her deep acceptance can melt away unpredictable cycles, and her conviction in his fundamental decency acts as a catalyst for his best self to emerge. When a wife petitions for her partner's inner development and spiritual awakening, she is doing more than just desiring his worldly accomplishments. She is helping his soul move closer to realizing its ultimate potential. Today, let's explore this powerful and often overlooked truth. A woman's spiritual strength, her devotion, and her innate grace can literally reshape a man's destiny. This happens not through loud demands, but through vibration, sincerity, and the quiet authority of the heart. Link the spiritual merging, marriage as an energetic union. To grasp how a woman affects her husband's karma, we must first accept that marriage is far more than a legal or emotional agreement. It is a spiritual coalescence of energies. In the teachings of mystics and enlightened teachers, it's explained that when two people commit in marriage, their karmic blueprints, their thoughts, their feelings, and their overall vibrational frequencies begin to seamlessly blend. This means that both partners not only share their happiness and obligations, but also their energetic imprints and the spiritual lessons they must learn. A wife, by her nature, often embodies a nurturing and emotionally intuitive essence. Her heart center radiates intensely, and her emotional state profoundly affects the atmosphere of the home and the internal condition of her mate. Due to this powerful, yet invisible, energetic link, her focused intentions, her earnest prayers, and her emotional clarity can influence his path in ways that are unseen but undeniably effective. A wife who is spiritually grounded becomes a vessel for the divine feminine energy, often known in many traditions as Shakti. Shakti is the primal energy of the universe, the power to nurture, safeguard, purify, and transform. When a wife holds sincere aspirations for her husband's personal evolution, when she prays for his welfare with a clean heart, and when she maintains faith in him even during his darkest periods, she is broadcasting high-frequency, positive energy directly into his karmic landscape. These purifying frequencies can mitigate the effects of prior actions, stimulate genuine inner reformation, and open pathways of opportunity that would otherwise remain sealed off. This influence is not about superiority or exerting control. It is a sacred, mutual interchange. just as fertile soil helps a seed grow into a mighty tree. A woman's grace assists a man in maturing into his higher, truest expression. Folded hands, pathways of pure influence. A wife's impact on her husband's fate operates through subtle and consecrated methods, frequently without her realizing the extent of her effect. 1. The purity of intention. When her deepest desire is for his ultimate well-being, not driven by self-interest or a need to control, this pure intent broadcasts a powerful, positive signal into his entire life. This selfless desire acts as a silent compass, aligning his choices toward better outcomes. 2. The power of heartfelt supplication. A sincere prayer offered for her husband's clarity, protection, and spiritual advancement forms a divine energetic shield around him. It can ease major karmic hardships and attract necessary support. 3. Leading by example. When a wife lives by the virtues of patience, integrity, devotion, and compassion, her presence becomes a living, breathing testament to higher ideals. She inspires her husband to elevate his own consciousness without ever uttering a single criticism. 4. The divine vision. Instead of dwelling on his weaknesses, she consciously chooses to see the perfect soul he is meant to become. This unwavering faith stimulates his dormant potential and helps him grow into his most authentic self. 5. Silence and forgiveness. Often, silence holds more weight than a torrent of words. Her genuine forgiveness dismantles emotional barriers, mends spiritual wounds, and allows both souls to move forward unburdened. Prohibited the path to avoid strength, not submission. While a woman has the power to elevate her husband's destiny, it is crucial to recognize what she should refrain from, as even good intentions can be corrupted by ego or a need for control. Genuine spiritual influence is never rooted in coercion. She must avoid the urge to fix her husband through incessant nagging, critical comments, or comparing him to others. Such behavior only diminishes his spirit and creates opposition instead of transformation. She should not sacrifice her own identity and self-worth in the name of being supportive or spiritual. Tolerating chronic disrespect or suppressing her inner truth is not humility. It is emotional self-neglect. A wife cannot uplift anyone if her own energy is wounded or empty. Her primary commitment is to her inner light and maintaining her dignity. She must guard against resentment while carrying out her duties. When service is performed with a heavy heart or expectation of reward, the spiritual benefit is lost. Silence must never become suppression, and forgiveness should not be confused with permission for continued abuse. If a husband's actions become harmful, a wife's spiritual commitment does not demand that she endure suffering. Protecting her mental, emotional, and spiritual health is fundamental to her divine purpose. A wife's true role is to inspire, not to dictate, to elevate, not to mend, to guide through love, not through fear. When she remains aligned with her own inherent truth and strength, her grace becomes a pure and potent force for transformation. Light bulb, a sacred partnership for spiritual growth. Ultimately, marriage, in the view of spiritual masters, is not a simple companionship. It is a sacred journey crafted for the mutual evolution of two souls. The highest form of love in this union is not dependence or control, but the profound desire to see the other person's soul move closer to its source. When two souls walk this path together, committed to uplifting one another in character, wisdom, and compassion, they create a bond that blesses not just themselves, but their entire sphere of influence. Thanks for tuning into AstroDecoded Daily. Like, share, and subscribe for daily zodiac wisdom. Until next time, stay cosmic.